Hey, welcome to Manifest Unfiltered. In today's episode, we have some good topics for you. So if any of these resonate with you and you want to learn, definitely stick around. So the first one is clarity, is basically you get exactly what you want. The second topic is going to be how do you know if you're making the right decision, which many of us probably have struggled with in the past. The third thing is that we're going to talk about ego and higher self. And then the fourth thing, kind of which ties it all to, maybe not trusting yourself anymore. So those are kind of the topics we're going to talk about today. So basically, Crystal and I, we're energy healers, we're mediums. We've kind of came across our own amazing system to use energy to manifest anything we want. And that's what we do, and that's what we teach people. So for the first topic is like you get what you want, clarity. I just want to, before we hop in there, I just want to say, you know what, Crystal and I, about a year ago, we made a really good YouTube video that explains it in really good detail. It's called How to Use Visualization to Manifest in the 5D. I will clip it here on YouTube. I will post it in the description and Spotify. But yeah, so if you want to learn more about that and go into more detail, definitely check that out. So you get what you ask for.
Exactly what you asked for.
So that's why, like, the number one thing, maybe not the number one thing, but a huge number one thing, or is it the number one thing, Crystal, is clarity, like knowing exactly what you want.
Absolutely. Because you can't assume that the universe is going to fill in the blanks. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have a very clear picture, understanding, and know exactly what you want. So if it's a
So
house, like I'm going
I
to
was
use a
just gonna
house
say,
for an example.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, give us an example. Yeah.
Um, or a car, if you're buying a new car and you have 6 kids, you know that you need room for 8 passengers. So when you visualize, you are going to say, I need a car for my 6 kids and me and my spouse, like, there you go. You're not going to say, just give me a vehicle, because you could end up with a little smart car, 2 passenger. Maybe that's what you see repeatedly, repeatedly.
So what about like color, make, like what about those more specific details when you're trying to be clear?
So what I always do is, like, I say, okay, this is the brand I want. Like, I'm gonna use myself for an example, because I live in the middle of nowhere and I can't drive a lot of fancy cars because they just won't make it down my road.
Yep.
So I'm like, I want a Ford and I need a 4x4. That's what I want. I don't want a Chev because my husband, doesn't go that route. Um, I've had lots of foreign imports. They don't work. I know they don't. So I want a Ford and I want 4x4 for winter, and I need that to get my 30 minutes to town safely. And so I'm particular on the brand. Now, when I was not living out here before we built our house, I was just like, I was always open. So I was like, ooh, give me something fun to drive. Give me something I'm going to love. Give me something sporty, and then that's kind of how I left that open. And then I was excited when I went shopping or like looking online, because I didn't know it was going to catch my attention. Like, I just left it so open to the universe to give me the best deal and something that was fun, and like, that I would enjoy and worked for my family, and I kind of took it what came.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. When I was manifesting Betty White, it took me a little while because I was indecisive a little bit. Like, but I'm like, oh, I like this from this car. Oh, I like this from this car, and I like this from this car. Like, I like so many pieces from different vehicles, and then it was like they took all those pieces and made my car. They made my
Yeah.
car. It was like the box shape, the size, the wheels, the two tone, like everything, the white silver like leather inside. Like it was like, oh, like it's just like the universe made it for me. And I wasn't expecting to find it on the lot. Like we're just shopping and looking around and kind of like giving up. We're like, oh, we're just not finding like because that was the time when vehicles were crazy expensive, like right after COVID there, when it was
Yeah.
just like vehicles were hard to come by, the lots were empty, and like, so it was like shit. And then all of a sudden there she was, Betty White staring at me. And like the light went on around her. Ding. I walked towards her door. It's like, shit, we're buying brand new, hey?
Well, it's so funny, right? Because I always said that my next car was going to be the BMW. And
Yeah.
there it's like I think it's the MX-5, I think it is, or that I like the big one, right? Because I need room. I don't want to drive a little car. So that is kind of was like in my head, but it's the sport coupe. It's not the granny style one. And so I was like always like that's the one I want. That's the one I want. And I saw it and it had that beautiful olive green with that cognac on the inside color. And I was just like, that's her. That's my car. I know that's my car. And so, I did the whole, yeah, we'll get to that later, but I was like, asked my guides, pulled my cards, and it was like, yes, yes, yes. But then practical Crystal had to say no.
That's a tough one when you gotta be practical.
Yeah.
Hey? Oh, that's another topic I didn't say we're going to talk about is working with your team. That is what tied in with ego and higher self, but also your team. Because Chris and I always say when you work with your team and you ask for help, we're going to talk about like what the heck that means
Yeah.
and just clarify that up a bit.
So
Okay,
you
so what
have to
else?
be,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, sorry. Yeah. Like if you're dating or if you're trying to plan for a spouse or a partner, I think like it's very great to have very detailed qualities. Like you have to have your no goes, right? Like, what are your hard lines that you will not have? And what are your hard lines that you need to have? So, he needs to have a job. He needs to be kind to me. He needs to not be an alcoholic. He needs to not be abusive. Like, those are the kinds of things that you just do not ever compromise on. So, you want to include those when you manifest. But then, like, do you have to be so particular about hair color? Like, those are the things that you could maybe just leave to the universe. You know, if you have a don't want to date under 5'5", fine, because you're not into that. But, you know,
Yeah.
is it like that much of a deal breaker? Like, could you leave that part to the universe and not just say, I want to find him physically attractive, or I want to be physically attracted to her, and leave that and trust that the universe will deliver that.
With those
So there
qualities.
are, yeah, like, you don't have to beat that to death.
Yeah. Oh, and like you said, being open to it because then you have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you do. I
Like
do
the
anyway.
universe, like I feel like it likes to have fun as well.
Well, yeah, because you
You
can
know?
be playful, right? It's not
Yeah.
like so serious where it's like, okay, let's get to work,
Yeah.
the clock's ticking. No, you can have some fun.
What do you feel like that seriousness energy brings to like when you're trying to manifest?
Just more fucking stress.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to manifest because you don't like something and you're maybe a little stressed anyway. So why add to it and add
Yeah.
to it and add to it? And then it's like a dead horse. You just beat it and beat it, beat it to death. And it's like not moving.
Yeah.
That's a really
I
bad
feel like when
analogy.
it is because I feel like when I'm having more fun with it, everything just goes more smooth. My vibrations even higher because I'm laughing. I'm enjoying it. There's lots of joyful moments in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you know what? Actually, just right now, you guys, today or tomorrow or sometime this week, when after you're listening to this podcast or watching, like, just pick something fun and something small that you can manifest and just put it out there and just see what happens. But again, like, just do it for fun. Have fun with it. Don't put pressure. Don't be serious and just see what happens.
I always tell people like a song, that's a fun one. Like pick a song and
Yeah.
tell the universe to play it and then just be open, or like a coffee or like a Starbucks drink or something like that.
Yeah. Do you want to pick a song to see if people will hear it? For like, and then you guys can think about us when you guys hear the song.
Okay. My mind went blank. Do you have one?
Well, it's like the one that you always seem to choose for some reason, and
Oh,
I don't
Journey,
know.
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah. Don't stop.
Okay, that's the one that popped into my head first thing, but I didn't know if you wanted to do that one again.
Yeah, so if you guys
Okay.
just for fun in the next what, how many days after they listen to this or watch this?
5 days. 5 days.
5 days, if you hear "Don't Stop Believing," just think of us and have a good laugh. Okay? That's awesome. Yeah, that is your sign you're at the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? Yeah.
If you do hear it, come back and like and follow, though.
Yes, and share this. Help us get this information out there for free because that's awesome. That's the whole intent is helping as many women as we can. So, yeah, and connecting, you know? Okay. Anyways, let's just that was a fun little part of it,
What
little
is the
side note.
last thing that was like that you think you manifested? Doesn't matter if it's
Like,
big or small.
sorry, big or small, you said?
Yeah, like it doesn't matter.
Oh my God. Now my mind is going blank. I don't even know now because it just happens all the time. Like, you know what I mean? You forget about things because it happens. Like, I guess my Greece trip,
Yeah.
right? Because that was like very spontaneous. And I was just like, oh, I need to go somewhere. And I
And the
was open to
stars
a
just
new,
aligned.
well, and I was open to a new place. Like, I miss Thailand so much, but I was open to somewhere new because now in my brain, I'm like, I feel like I need to explore more because is Thailand our second going to be, our second home? Is that the main spot? So then, yeah, when Greece happened, like, yeah, it booked, friends aligned, everything. Yeah, everything aligned. Everything's like, do, 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 do. Done. Okay, we're going. I mean, we haven't left yet. We leave in a couple of weeks, but yeah. So I think that would be like for a bigger one.
I was
Yeah.
in Bass Pro on Saturday. And so we were there and Trav says to me, he says, there's these gun cases, right? And he's like, I broke my gun case this fall and the zipper crapped out. And he said, do you want a gun case? And I said, I do. I just don't know which one to get. Like, so I was trying them out on my shoulder and I was like, I just don't want another piece of shit with the broke, like, the zipper breaks first thing, like my last one. So we're looking and looking. And I said, okay, I think I like this camel one. Like, it's got all nice big pockets for all my stuff because, like I got to pack some Kleenex and so I'm looking for big pockets.
Yeah.
And so we got it in the cart and we're walking up to the till and this man stops my husband and says, I bought that case last year and the zipper went first thing. He says, it's not a good case. It's kind of a piece of crap. So save your $50 and, maybe look at something different. And I just looked at Travis and I was like, I just literally said that. So we put that one back and grabbed the second one I was trying to decide between and went to the till.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, like it can be just small things, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, you just triggered my memory for a small thing. I've been trying to find these certain shirts that fit really well that are long sleeved, that are nice fitting and that you can wear with like either like sweatpants or jeans or something nice.
yep.
And I did. I found some. I finally ordered some online, which I hate online shopping. I'm old school. I need to feel, I need to touch, I need to try on. So
Me
when I
too.
order online, I really struggle because my body is always that in between the
Oh,
measurements, like always, like nothing just quite fits right for me. So yeah, I found some shirts that actually fit
I always think
that
that returning is like such a massive ordeal.
I know that's why I don't like it. Like there's some things I want to return. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, well, we can give you credit. I'm like, I just want to return it.
Yeah. I don't even want it in my house. Just get it gone.
Like, I don't want to give. I don't want to order from you again. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. But yeah, what else did you want to say about being like very, very clear? What if like sometimes what we've always say this, Crystal and I,
Mhm.
because you're gonna maybe come across a moment where like you know what you want in a sense, but the vision maybe is a little murky. Like you want to feel this, you want to experience this, but you actually just can't fully picture it in your mind's eye. Like you can't visualize it. Just
You
know
can
that.
always, yeah, sorry. You can always manifest. And I mean, I've done this, like, especially when I was younger growing up, because it wasn't exactly easy or fun. I'd always just say, I don't want this. I want something better. I never knew what that was. But
Mm-hmm.
whenever I saw something I didn't like, I would say,
Hmm.
I don't want that. I want something better. I don't
Yeah.
want that. I want something better. And then, you just kind of trust that it heard you and then it's leading you there, right? And then you have to go through the process of following the signs, trusting your instinct, trusting your gut, looking for synchronicities, like patterns and figuring out what works for you. So it's kind of like, you're playing a game of Clue, like who did it, and then but still saying like, I don't want this, I don't want this, I want something better. This frustrates me, this stresses me. Just please something better. And you can just go up and go up and go up.
Yeah, and what I was gonna add to that, you can just add what you want to feel. Like, I
Yep.
wanna feel joy, I wanna experience adventure, I wanna feel freedom, I wanna feel love, I wanna feel happiness, like, whatever that is. And you could, when you're doing the "I don't want," this is what I wanna feel instead.
And eventually, I think you get to a point. I mean, like at least I did. I mean, I've watched you do it as well. You
What's
get to a
that?
point where you don't know what you want. You just know you want something better because you're so stressed and you want to feel fulfillment or whatever else. But eventually, you start to hone it in, like
Yeah,
as things become better, and maybe you're out of a stressful situation because it doesn't, like when you're manifesting a major life change, um you know it doesn't generally happen overnight. It does take a progression of time because your
yeah,
body needs to change, your mind needs to shift to it, your energy needs to shift to it, everything needs to shift. And it's just not like a big,
yeah,
you need time. So eventually, as your energy changes, your vibration changes, your frequency changes, you're more able to directly hone in on the specifics.
yeah. It's kind of crazy, you guys. I just had experience. My parents go to Yuma every winter, and they just came home on Saturday. And my dad looked at me, and he was like, I don't understand what's different about you. He's like, you're different. I don't know what to. He's like, you've grown. I don't know. Like my energy was so different than what he was used to when he left. He was just like, he didn't know how to like pinpoint. He's like, You're just so different." He's like, "It's only been 6 months. What happened to you?" He's like, in a good way, but he's like, "What the heck?" So like, that was 6 months of changing and growing and like shifting into my new identity, my new,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's kind of cool that my dad noticed.
Yeah, so, like, people don't like, I think that's the one thing, like, people are looking for that instant gratification when they're
Yes.
manifesting, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a progression, and then, one day you just kinda look back and go, "Wow, like, that was 3 years ago. Holy crap," like,
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person, and, like, look at me now. I have this, or I have a different job, I have a whole different life. But
Yeah.
at the time, when you're kinda just paddling through the shit, so to speak, trying to lift your vibration and maybe shake off some of that old energy and patterns and behaviors, one day you just sort of come out on the other end and look back.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess just giving yourself and the process some grace and some patience during that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because yeah, it does take time sometimes. Yeah. So basically, be as clear as you want, but don't get too caught on some specifics.
The
Yeah,
specifics that are going to slow you down.
yeah,
I mean, if you
yeah.
only find redheads handsome or attractive, then I guess so be it. Throw it out there and see what you get. Maybe you'll get something. Maybe you'll get nothing. I don't know.
The other thing I want to say is like the universe does the best that it can do, right? And usually it's like 10 out of 10, but it might be like an 8 out of 10. Like, say for the card, it might be missing one or two things out of it, but the rest of the package is amazing? And I've heard people be like, well, no, it's not everything I want. So do you think that's settling or do you think that's like, no, it's just not for you? Like I want that's missing two little like little features, say.
I think that's when you, as an individual, need to make a choice. Are you content with that? Because, like, we did that other video, funny enough,
What is
um,
that one?
where we talked about how, you, when your energy shifts and change, you'll get something in your face that's close to it, right? And then as your energy shifts and change, you get a little closer and you get a little closer. And then where most people settle. I think it's like, is the universe testing you? Was that it?
Could be. Does the universe test you when you're manifesting? Yeah, I'll link that one again to you guys. So
We'll
those two
find and
videos.
make sure which one it is and then
Yeah.
link it. But yeah, so then I guess, people, when you get to that second or you're maybe one or two off, people start to decide if they're content or they're not content, and then they just, this is good, I'm happy, and they make a choice.
Mhm.
You make a choice to stop here, you make a choice to stay at that job, you make a choice to love that person and continue that relationship, you make a choice just to buy that house rather than wait for the one that you absolutely wanted. You're in a hurry, so you're content with that vehicle. Like, even though you're missing a few options, you're like, good enough, whatever. And people just choose to do that,
Yeah.
then wait for everything that they wanted. And I think there it comes to that point where you're like, your energy is shifted at about that 80, 75, 80 kind of percent to your full manifestation, that they just start going, yeah, that's good for me.
Yeah. 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 So then I guess it goes to the next topic. How do you know you're making the right decision?
Dun 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 dun.
Or like, who's this indecisive sometimes? Oh my God, I used to be the most indecisive person in the fucking world. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You were the most indecisive person.
Oh, I was awful. Like, but it also like affected my like it was funny in my nervous system too. Like not just mentally. It was like, did I make a decision from when I was in flight, fight, or like froze? And then we'll go into this. Did I make a decision from my ego or from my higher self? Like what?
Well, then I felt like you're always in fear. Did you make the right decision?
Well, yeah, because I used to always worry, like, well, what if? Is there a better option? What if it doesn't go well? Da, 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 da. And then if I was in flight mode, I would just like avoid. I would distract. I would delay the decision as much as possible. And then when I was in freeze mode, I just couldn't do nothing. Like I couldn't make decisions. I was like,
Mm.
and then that's when I went to externally, like what we talked about in the last podcast. Like I went external and I had to ask three different people their advice or like, yeah, it was awful. And then I
What do you
couldn't
think of
listen
this? Yeah.
to my ego or my higher self or like which back in the day I didn't understand the voices, kind of what you were saying in your last podcast. You had some extra voices, but that was different. But we'll explain ego and higher self here. But yeah, but how do you know when you're making the right decision?
I think honestly, when you are very grounded and you're very connected to the energy, and I'm not just talking like, I'm talking the energy from the universe, the energy from the earth, and and you invite that energy into you, and you are connected from above and below. And you're just grounded, you're centered, your chakras are open, you're able to go in, and
Mhm.
and then you have, your connection to your guides, and on the other side, and you're just like, it doesn't matter if it's, when you get to that point, it honestly doesn't matter if it's the right decision or the wrong decision. You know that no matter what happens, there will be a way out, or you will be supported. Like, you know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
it's just another decision to make on your journey of this
Yeah.
thing we call life, whether
Well,
it's good, bad, or ugly. And I've done dumb things where I have been connected, and I've asked, and I've like, okay, I know I should do this. And I mean, it's an inner knowing sometimes, like I know I should do this. And I'd like say to my guides, like, show me a sign, should I do this? And they're like, yes. And then I'm like, you know what? But I don't want it. I'm going to do the exact opposite.
you just did that like 6 months ago.
I know.
I even told you don't do it. Yeah. But at the same breath, action creates the most clarity.
'Cause-
For me, anyways, like just making a decision and going for it. And it's like, oh, then you find out, oh, this isn't for me. Oh, no, this is for me. Oh, but I like this. I want to tweak this. And like you said, you can just build upon it and you just build upon it. But at the end of the day, if you ask yourself, like, what's the worst case scenario could happen? And you think about it, do they generally happen? No. Like,
no.
yeah.
Well, I
So
think it's like you're not as afraid to make choices or decisions when you know you're supported.
that's true too. Yeah. That
No,
grounded piece in
like if
there.
you don't feel like you have any support or any connections, and it's you against the world, it's a little harder sometimes to make those decisions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right, because when I was very indecisive, I felt, even though I had people around me and I was surrounded, I always generally felt very alone
Yeah.
because I always felt I was different than everyone else in that sense. Like,
Nobody really understood.
yeah, I was very misunderstood. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I get that. So now that like
Mhm.
I understand working with my team and my team, which we'll guys will explain. Yeah.
But one of the things I always
Yes.
do, like, and I mean, this comes from years of practice. And I mean,
Mhm.
everybody could do this, and I highly recommend people start doing this and getting that connection. But I'd always ask my guides, like, during meditation, you know, show me, like, so if I choose make this decision, show me the outcome, show me a possible outcome. Okay, show me the other possible outcome. And this is all through meditation when you're in deep relaxed state and you're,
In your mind's eye.
brain, yeah, not fighting you, right?
Hmm.
Show me. And then I would, like, you can ask for signs. But sometimes, and I truly believe this, that sometimes you need to make those shitty decisions to learn what you need to learn here on earth. So to
Yeah.
think that you're going to come in, be connected, and just ask for signs and avoid every little roadblock or hiccup and just cruise through life without a red light. Sorry, just want
No, we are here for reasons. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so sometimes it's just like, do you always rely on the signs? Sometimes you got to trust your gut. You just got to make a decision and stand by it, come hell or high water, and know you're just one decision away from changing it.
Well, that's the other. Okay, so that's the other. There's always pros and cons to everything usually, right?
Yeah.
The con of always relying on your team, like they're always there, but like when you rely too much on signs and don't take that ownership, like what just Crystal said, just own it, do it. So just honestly being aware of that too, of always relying, but never make the decisions for yourself because deep down you know what you want to do.
Well, and like, then you're not responsible. There's no accountability for you in your
Yes.
life, and it's giving your power away. And honestly, like, they don't want it. They're here to guide you. And have you ever noticed that when you've asked for too many signs or you're relying on them, like you didn't get them?
Uh I haven't no, you know what? I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah. So like when you
You
become
have?
so, yeah, complacent in your life where it's like it doesn't really matter to them on the other side, like just make a
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get, sometimes I don't get the signs. And then to me now I've known, like, okay, that's for me to step back, take a little bit more ownership
Yeah.
for myself. And it's not like a life or death thing. It's not like a holy grail, like my whole world is split and I'm going right or left and it's major life changing. It's just like, fuck no, Crystal, settle down, ground yourself and make a decision. We got you either way.
Yeah.
I did that
Yeah.
very, very early in my like when I first made my connections when I was young. It would be like, ooh, I could just breeze right through life. And no, no. They're like, you can learn some shit, honey. Make a
Yeah.
decision. We got you either way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I haven't because I always ask for 2 signs. And so far they've always shown up. So I haven't been there yet. But I try to make my own decision first before I ask for a sign. The only time I really ask for a sign when as I'm really on the teeter-totter. Like I'm really like, I really don't know, you know?
Oh, in the early age, I used them as like, you know, I wouldn't make a decision. I didn't want to make a decision. I wanted to give my power away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I could see how that would be very addictive
Yeah, because you take no
too.
ownership, no responsibility. It's like going back
Yeah.
to being a child again.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like so many things we do on our manifesting journey and like even like just being aware of your guys' patterns and behaviors is huge because all of a sudden you're doing well and then you're like you could self-sabotage things or all of a sudden, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because
like
they were
it's
just like,
crazy. Hmm?
I was always like, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do,
Yes.
And they were just like,
I
no.
have asked that before. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, make a decision, we'll support you,
Yeah.
get you through either way.
Do you know what sometimes this is kind of funny? Because my main guide there, like, it's kind of funny. It's just like, "Pull up your big girl panties."
Oh yeah, get that to that too.
So I just get, like, this visual of, like, "Fuck, okay. Pull up your big girl panties. Come on, step up." So that's I've worked with him now that we have humor like that. Like, it's yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. So that's when I know they're not gonna give me that answer.
Okay, what do you do now? Like, you ask for signs, and then so you make a decision, "This is what I wanna do," and then ask for a sign that you'll be okay. Is that what you do?
No, I if I make a decision, I make the decision. But if there's a decision that I'm not sure about, then I ask for 2 signs sometimes. Show me this if I'm meant to, show me this if I'm not meant to.
Oh, okay.
That's how I've been doing it lately, and, like, the other day, I was like, I wasn't getting my first like, I wasn't getting my I just asked for 1 sign, but this was just last week. Um, so yeah, this was just last week. I did a facial, like, called a Silfirm X treatment, and I was supposed to go back this week to do a second round, but my skin is a little inflamed, and it's kinda like I don't know. And I didn't know what to do because if you do another one, you bank up extra collagen, like, you double the results in 3 to 6 months. I was like, "Ah." So I was like really unsure of what to do because my skin is a little different. Like I'm sensitive skin, so it takes longer to heal. And
Yeah.
I gave it the max amount of time to heal. And I'm like, I just don't know what to do. And then they showed me, I asked for a giraffe if I was supposed to do it. I'm like, okay. But then I went to did hot yoga and I broke out in these big hives all over my skin. Which I'd go I do hot yoga, I used to teach hot yoga, like, I'm okay with that, and it was just weird. So I'm like, "Okay, now what?" And then I am like, "Just show me a giraffe again if it's gonna be okay, like, my skin will be okay because I'm prone to keloid." And I wasn't seeing the giraffe. I'm like, "Okay, show me a badger or, like, if I'm not supposed to do this." Literally that night, I crawled into bed and there was a new episode of Shrinking on, and they were talking about badgers. I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Okay."
That's funny.
So I canceled my appointment.
See, I always just say, like, "Give me a sign if this is for my highest good." And so sometimes I get the sign, sometimes I
Oh, yeah.
don't. And then
Oh,
if
yeah.
I'm like then I'm always like, "Okay, like 3 days, 5 days."
Yeah.
But maybe I should okay, well, I gotta write down my signs for starters
Yeah, you
because I am
forget your
bad.
signs.
I do. And then I saw my sign the other day and I was like, I walked into Bass Pro and I knew I'd asked for a sign. I was like, and then it's moose. And I was like, okay, so I want a moose. And then and I just kind of chuckled because like, moose is such a funny little sign, right? And then Trav's like, hey, we're gonna go to Bass Pro. And so I walked in and then the first thing right at the door is this big freaking moose. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wait, what was my question again? That was my sign. I was like,
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
I
Well, you
do
start
that a lot.
asking for too many, yeah, or you forget.
I have a little chuckle with them, and I'm like, "Okay, what was my question again? Can you help me out? I forgot. I didn't write it down."
Yeah, that happens. That happened to me a couple times. I'm like, I asked for a penguin one time. I'm like, fuck, what was that penguin for? Fuck. Oh my god, and I was making fun of myself. I'm like, I'm turning into fucking Crystal. Spending too much time with her, damn it. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, okay. Anything else you want to say about like, being clear, trusting yourself? Do you want to speak upon intuition at all? That kind of goes with trusting yourself.
Yeah, you
You
gotta
know,
build a
knowing
strong
how to
intuition.
pardon? I cut
You
you off,
have to
sorry.
build a strong intuition.
And that's how you start trusting yourself, is
Yeah,
what you're saying?
you do. Like, I think it becomes and it helps that personal power. It helps your confidence. It helps you, like, it just, yeah, your self confidence when you grow your intuition, you connect to it, you trust it.
Yeah.
And just like I said, that's that inability that like you're not alone and you're supported. And all you have to do is ask, and they will help you figure it out to get you to where you need to be.
Yeah. Do you want to like give them like one or two like little fun intuition exercises to build upon?
Yeah.
Which
I
ones?
mean, like, I like to play the number game. So, I mean,
Okay.
can we all get this is the one I played when I was very early, just kind of building that.
Hmm.
I mean, keep in mind, you're not always going to be 100% accurate. But I would always like guess how many new junk emails I got overnight. So when I would like lay up in the morning, wake up in the morning, and I'd be like, in that meditative state. And I would be kind of meditating and I'd be like, okay, guys, like show me like how many junk emails, like how many do I have?
Yeah.
And yeah. that would be like my one little fun game, and then I'd open it up, and like more times than not, like as it got stronger and stronger and stronger, I got like closer and more accurate.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
then I would always another thing I would do is like, okay, show me one thing that I need to know about today. So show me one thing for today. And then I'd trust whatever that was. I would get, me in a grocery store, and I would have no intentions of being at the grocery store. Like, so I'm like, well, why am I at a grocery store today? I'm not going to a grocery store. And sure enough, I'd end up at a grocery store, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, I get it. I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, so do a numbers game of your choice, like any kind of numbers game really
Yeah.
that fits your
If you could do that,
lifestyle,
like, how many phone calls am I going to get today? Or,
or texts, or
yeah, who's going to text me today?
yeah.
And who are, and then trust who that is. Like, who's going to text me?
And then if Sarah runs across your face, well then yeah,
Yeah.
they'll get
And
a
then
text from your friend Sarah or whatever.
yeah, like you would have so many fun games with that. And then like
Yeah.
I like the show me, the show me one thing for today.
You know what? It's so crazy because once you start getting or seeing like you're right with your intuition, like say
Yeah.
you say Sarah and Sarah actually texts you, that instills so much like confidence and power within yourself and
And
that
then you're
connection
like,
with your team as well. It's like, okay, like I
this
can
is
do
real.
this.
They're
I
there.
got
Holy
this.
shit.
Like let's fucking do this. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's fun. So yeah, again, have fun, no pressure, just enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah. And the one thing you keep talking about meditation, Crystal, if you guys don't really meditate and you need to get into it, oh my God, I recommend Yoga Nidra the best. It is so good for newbies. It's good for all areas of meditators, but like just to get your body used to calming down and your nervous system goes into your parasympathetic nervous system. So just like if you're not used to, sitting still and meditating, definitely start with Yoga Nidra. I just started getting back into it, Crystal. I don't know why I stopped. Like, I know we meditate and then we do our energy work and stuff, but like I just for meditation purposes, just for like fun for me. Oh my God, you guys is amazing. My bloating and inflammation has gone down so fast in my body. It's unreal. I forgot. It's the most powerful meditation like to
I
do.
can't
It's
get my
amazing.
mind and my body to relax for no yoga nidra for so long.
I don't understand. It's like the best. Like any
No.
guided meditation is a good step for being for new individuals or just like a quick 5-minute breath work app or something just to get yeah.
Because I think for me, like when I went, like what just came to me now, like when I'm meditating, I go into a state where I am for mediumship.
Yes.
So I connect differently in that sense. Like I go right into my mediumship state where I'm
Yeah.
like connected, and I'm with my guides, and I'm like right there. So
Yeah.
I'm not in that calm. I'm
But
calm, I'm meditating, but I'm in a whole different zone.
I know, but do both. It's so different because I
I
do
get a little
both.
twitchy.
That's because yes, that's because you have a problem with, like, it. But that goes away, it goes away, and so when you can do both types of meditating, like meditating when you're connected with your energy and your team and you're doing energy work, that's different. But just strict meditation where you are just really just getting your rest and digest to kick in and your nervous system to calm down and letting your body, like, do what it needs to do, and it knows it's safe, it's calm, like, huge difference.
I should probably do more of that.
Yeah, it could just self-regulates your whole body and your nervous system, like, it's amazing. So anyways, that was my little, like, tip. Pro tip, start there, it's
Is your
amazing.
yoga nidra, is it like free on our website or no?
Um, no, that's in Basic
Oh.
Bitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many on Insight Timer or YouTube. I actually play YouTube. I do it before I go to bed. I put the YouTube on and I just like, yeah, or my Insight Timer. I can't listen to myself, so I get annoyed of my voice. So yeah, anyways, side notes. Okay, sorry, I went way off topic, but basically we were just kind of wrapping up like, trusting yourself, intuition. And then anything else you want to say about trusting yourself and intuition before we go into explaining like ego, higher self, working with our team?
No, I just think that your trusting your intuition is such a personal journey.
Yeah.
Like that is like we can give you guides, we can give you tips, we can give you all of those things, but it is a personal journey, as personal as it gets. And through it, a journey of self-discovery. So I think something everybody should try.
You know, that's kind of the cool thing about our courses, though. You do have that self discovery and you do instill stronger connection and intuition. So
Absolutely.
then you get your power back and then you have the power to do all the things you want to do. It's pretty
Well,
cool.
then you're connected and you never have to doubt a decision. You don't ever have to go
Yeah.
follow a program or like, you know what I mean? It's that inner knowing that just comes from being rooted and grounded and connected.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, when I look back and reflect how when I wasn't, oh my gosh, I was just like this little scattered brain. I don't even know, just that hamster wheel crazy person here. I thought that was just normal life, like, da, 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 da. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a huge change for me, anyways. Yeah.
So we got ego and higher self next.
Yes, and our team, like what all those things mean and how it all comes together, basically. What do you want to start with? Ego and higher self, and then our team?
Well, we're kind of talking about intuition. Maybe we should just go into the team.
Yeah, we talk about making decisions where ego and higher self comes in.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay, let's do ego and higher self. Do you want to you always explain ego and higher
Mm.
self. Like your analogies are so funny.
It's like the good devil and the bad devil, one on each shoulder,
Yeah.
nattering in each ear. And that's what I picture them as. Your good angel, your bad angel.
Yeah.
But, oh, go
But
ahead.
I was gonna say, how do you know? Okay, so let's just describe ego and then describe higher self. So for ego though, also I want to side note and bring this into about how it gets really a bad rap.
Well,
And
your
that it's
ego,
not your enemy, like really, like how people say you got to kill your ego. Oh, you made that
yeah.
decision from your ego. Oh, your fucking ego is so bad. I really don't like that anymore. Like
Well,
there's
your
a purpose
ego
for your ego and
is
there's a
important.
purpose, yeah, for your higher self. So I guess let's kind of clarify the difference between the two besides the good and the bad.
Your ego is the person, the part of you that helps you from giving all your shit away and running naked in the streets. Like, really. Giving your last $5 away, taking the clothes off your back and running naked in the
Like
street.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
We're going streaking.
Yes, that is your ego. He's the one that says, I think you better settle down. Let's think
Yeah.
this through.
And
Is
like
that the
keeps you
right choice for you?
yeah, and it keeps you safe from other things. Like it's your safety. Like sometimes you need that safety self-awareness sometimes when you're in certain areas too, right? It's like
Well, because when you're very spiritual, if you let me like, okay, listen, we can all know the spiritual people that walk around a little flighty and they're not grounded, they're not connected, although they will swear up and down that they are.
I met
And
one
they
last
just
week.
make those
Or-
decisions and everything, it's
Yeah.
okay. The universe will provide. It's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And then
I
your
literally got
ego,
introduced to one of those last weekend. I'm like, oh my God, I can only talk to you for 5 minutes max.
yeah. But your ego is like the one that says, all right, you do have a power bill and it is 2 days away. So if you want to
Yeah.
donate the $150, like wait till payday. You're okay, and there's nothing wrong with your ego.
Yeah. You just got to make sure it's not taking control.
Exactly. Because then you have that, what about me?
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
my ego, I see it in my mind's eye, and mine. I always tell Crystal, no, mine's a dude for some reason, and he gets stompy and pissy, like, like I'm not
Red
being
gets
heard,
excited.
and
Yeah.
then he wants to take control. So I just tell him to go lay down in his hammock, or like I try to get him and myself and my higher self negotiating and talking.
They can. And I think that's where people like, you just have the extreme because it's gone. The minute like you deny your ego, it's gonna fight you.
Hmm.
Okay, we did another YouTube video about this one too, didn't we?
Yeah. Yes, don't yeah, we did.
But
And it was
your
all about the ego and explaining this again.
but your ego is going to fight you. And it's going to fight harder and harder and harder because that's your built-in safety mechanism kind of thing. So
Yeah.
the minute you deny it, then, and then it's going to grow and it's going to grow and it's going to fight harder. And then it's going to be that, well, what about me?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get that. My feelings hurt. I'm not heard. I'm not validated. I'm whiny. So, and that's what I find. Like, if you're in an ego, it's all about me. When you're in higher self, you're like, what can I do to serve? What can I do to help you? And then that's kind of the difference in my mind, how I see when you're in really strong ego and when you're really, really strong higher self. Because that higher self is that, how can I make the world a better place? How can I help you? How can I serve? What can I do? Can I give you my shirt off my back and run around naked? Can I give you my last $5? Like, you know, so there has to be a balance. Like, it's that yin and
Mhm.
that yang, that you can't have one without the other because they keep each other in check.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you hear it as voices in your head too?
Um, yes, sometimes. So
Or
funny. Like,
feel?
sometimes, like, I find if I'm really in ego and I haven't connected, like, my answer will be yes. Like, I get that, and I'm like, ooh, saucy showing up there. All right. I get that, just that,
Yeah.
yeah, a little, and then, but I do catch myself because I have a tendency to really give things away. Like,
Yeah, you do.
yeah, I'm really, really, but I do believe in flow and I do believe
Yeah.
in the earth's energy, and I don't believe in, like, hoarding
Hoarding, yeah.
unless it's like in my pantry, and but I just cleaned that on Saturday, so I'm good. But that I do believe there is the flow aspect, there is the energy aspect, and not stifling that energy, but it's
Yeah.
finding the balance between the two that says, yes, I'm going to give. Yes, I'm, like, have this planned. Yes, I can be spontaneous and I can give somebody who needs a lunch $5 out of my wallet. I always keep money in my purse in a $5 or a $10 increment for that very reason. And I will always have that on me, and I always give it away if I see somebody that needs it more than I do, every single time. And it's in my purse for that specific purpose, that specific reason. Um, but if I was to donate like a huge amount of money or something, my ego is going to kick in now and go, okay, let's balance it out. Let's think about this. Who are your other people that you donate to? What else do you have planned? And it's come up with a plan. And it's keeping both in check.
Yeah. That's cool. And it's fun to it's fun to experience and work with. It's fun to
Yeah.
have that connection. Again, not taking it so seriously. It's fun to have that connection. You know what? I found that video. It's how to work with your ego to manifest faster. I will post that again.
Well, like, one of the things I always do too, like during meditation, if I want to know if I'm coming from my ego or if I'm coming from too much of my higher self, like, those old weighted scales that, they
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
balance. And
Mhm.
so I'll just visualize that in my mind, one with the ego, one with the higher self. And I'll ask my guides, okay, like, show me, where am I? And then through that connection, because I really rely on that mediumship connection quite a bit, but I
Yes,
mean,
you
we do
do.
teach it. Yeah, we do teach it though. So,
Yeah.
like, then it's like, okay, now show me where I'm at, and I can see in my mind's eye where my scales are tipped or not.
Yeah. That's a good way of doing it. I didn't do that. So yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes when I'm making a decision, going back to decisions, I just remembered when I check in with ego and higher self, I see a green check mark or a red X.
Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
When I'm balanced, when I'm, not tipped like this, when
Well, this
scale
is
when
it.
scale
Like,
down.
when I make the decisions, like, the one I did 6 months ago when I said, oh, like, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, that was a total ego decision, and I knew that. But I'm just
She
like,
hated every moment, you guys. She hated every moment.
and then I laughed at myself and corrected it and carried on. Like, you know what I mean? You just got to be like, oh, I was an idiot. But I mean, we're
Yeah.
human. Sometimes you got to have those.
Yeah, sometimes yeah, you do. It's just a part of life, right? Okay, now let's talk about what does it mean? Like, let's explain to everyone what it means when we say working with your team. Like, I don't know if you want to get into like the layers or the details of who's who in the zoo, or just you guys reference to our diagram freebie, but
I love it. You stole my lines. I always say who's who in the zoo. That's so
for
awesome. You're talking
sakes,
like
I
me.
am hanging out with you too much. Oh my gosh.
My work
No.
here is done.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just like I was always like, oh, who's who in the zoo? Jesus. Now I'm saying it. Okay. Well, whatever. You guys, we spend like, I don't know how much time a day together. It's kind of crazy.
So our guides are like we have our guardian angels that we're all born with that are with us from the time of our birth till death. But then we're also given like a master guide. And he's with us as well, and he helps us make our life choices, navigates. He's not of the angelic realm, but I think he is somebody like mine. I see him, so I'm going to talk like how I see mine. um is
It doesn't
somebody
mean
who,
yours is a him. I'm just want to let people
yeah, I see mine
know.
as a male.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody will see theirs differently. It's how they choose to present themselves to us. So I
Mhm.
totally think mine's hot. Like that's what I like. He's like,
Yeah.
but
Mine's so ripped and has tattoos on his arm. Anyways.
yeah, there's no point in connecting to somebody with six heads. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, so anyway, I feel them as somebody who has lived on Earth before, who has working knowledge of Earth and how we do things. And where, as opposed to our guardian angel, who maybe doesn't, but they're more of our internal soul and making those choices and decisions that we can or can't live with, right? Where our guides are like the doers. They're the ones that are going to help us get through what we need to get through, the life lessons we've agreed to do when we came to Earth and be born and all that kind of fun stuff. And our angels are the ones that kind of look after our soul in the process. So we all have our master guide, but then we can call in other guides, to help us. Like if I want to build a business, I can ask my master guide to help me find a master guide in the area of business. And this is where you need to kind of be a little bit more discerning and say, I want somebody with experience. I want somebody who was successful, not maybe somebody who went bankrupt in every single business attempt they ever tried and failed, unless I want not what to do. But, and then those guys present themselves to you. And so as you go through life, you can request and ask for certain guides. Like they're not guaranteed to be with you your whole life. So you can ask guides for different things. There's runner helper guides, and they're the ones that can help you get things, like my parking spot at Starbucks. That's the guides that I rely on to help me get the Starbucks parking spot that I want every single time. When you request your song from Journey, Don't Stop Believing, they're the ones that are going to make it happen, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. You guys, we have a free diagram if you need to like a visual to see it on our website. I'll link that there as well. It's just, yeah. So you know who's who in the zoo and you
Like
can
I
see it.
currently feel like I have about six guides with me right now. Like I have a Native American guide with me, and it's funny because I call him grandfather. And I asked him if I could call him grandfather and got the sign that was okay. But he's not like my grandpa or anything like that. Like to me, that's just a sign of respect. Like he is a grandfather kind of thing, and he's very knowledgeable. And all of my earth stuff and connecting to the earth and the earth's energy, I find he really shows up for me in that regard. And then I have my master guide, and I have some other ones. Like you and I have a joint one. Funny enough, we have the same one.
Which one is that one?
The hooded guy.
Oh, that I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. But I was like, is there another one? Okay, yeah, him. Yeah. He's our finance guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like our business guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but then I also had guides before that who I know left and now these ones have stepped in. And I think it's like with each stage of your life, each phase of your life, new guides will enter to help you navigate that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So if you ever need help in that, because you're like, I don't know how to do that, definitely check our stuff out at amarialife.com because that is what we do. But if you want to play around with yourself, I don't know what to say about that.
Well, I mean, I think there's a ton of videos like how to
Yeah,
connect. Um,
there should be. Yeah.
it's really easy. Like I know there's like a ton of videos or whatever meditations online, like to connect to your master guide. We do it as part of our program, like for people that have never done it before. But
Yeah.
there are a bunch of free ones out there as well. And you can just ask them to reveal themselves to you, and then trust it. Like, what's your name? And look for the synchronicities. Like, like if you see Freddie 4 times, like, hey, maybe you could call your guy Freddie. Like just little things like that.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, when you're looking at certain things that are free, it's just like you and I are so like adamant. You have to be grounded and connected first
Yeah,
in the
I noticed that
beginning.
they don't do a lot
So
of grounding to them.
so just
So
be
not
careful who, like, yeah, if they're not really connecting you and grounding you, and yeah, so
Well,
that's
because
why
you
I was
are
like,
opening yourself up. Like,
yeah,
like it's an energy. And we're
yeah.
energy here, it's energy there. And I will say this 100 times over till I'm blue in the face and piss every medium off on the face of the earth. But the fact of the matter is, we're connecting to energy on the other side. And what we think we're connecting to and what we really could be connecting to, you don't really know. Only your ego will say, no, I know it's your grandfather. Like, because they gave me specific information. But yeah, you don't know. Until we all cross over and see what's actually on the other side, we don't know
What's
how it works.
happening?
Yeah, we're
These girls are
speculating.
just crazy and we're having fun with them.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah. So basically that's what we mean when we're saying we work with our team and we're connected and we get guidance
Mhm.
and like,
It's a trust. Like, you build a relationship with them.
yeah.
No different than how you build a friendship, right? Like, there's that gratitude component, that thank you, and start small. Like, it doesn't have to be some major thing. Like, you know.
Okay, so sorry, my head is jumping. You guys, we did a channeling. We talked about channeling in one of our podcasts, and we showed that Bashar guy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize, you guys. I just found this out like honestly a couple days ago. What he's channeling, like aliens, like he's channeling aliens, and he describes the aliens.
I don't know. I just got the ick from watching that. Like I could not literally like
Did that one work
every
for you?
energetic shield I had went right up. Like just
Isn't
nope.
that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crazy, but I mean, like, I don't know, like, so when you're talking, like, be careful when you're channeling. Like, what are people
That's just it. Like,
doing?
is he really connected to an alien or is it
I
some
don't
kind of
know.
demon on the other side? Like, we don't know. Like,
I
that's what I
don't
always say, that
know.
you have to, like, when you channel, like, like, when you allow what he does, like, that's a full on possession.
Yeah, that
And you
scares the
gotta
shit
like,
out of me.
yeah, no, every barrier goes up. Like when you do mediumship, like you're connecting, you're having a conversation, but there's no, hey, come in me, through me, and out me. There no fucking way.
Yeah, guys, nothing's entering ever.
Yeah. And even when you channel and write your notes, like, people say they just allow it to enter and the words to flow. Nope. No freaking way. We're having a two-way conversation like you and I are right now.
Yeah,
Like, not happening. I'll ask you a question and you can talk to me through that channel. But
yeah,
this is a do not enter zone.
yeah. It's my space
Yeah.
only. Yeah. Yeah, I just, sorry, it triggered my mind because I just was like, holy fuck, what? Like, I've heard of other people connecting to aliens before, but I don't know. What do you think about that topic? Real, not real? They're called Qatar. No, no, I can't remember what they're called.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like I'm not gonna say like it's not possible because we don't know, like anything is
Yeah.
really possible. So I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, but yet I don't slam the door and just think that everything is crazy. but I
Yeah.
just go by what I feel.
Yeah.
So, like, don't get me wrong, I love to go down the UFO wormhole videos sometimes on YouTube, like anybody else. Like, I find
Yeah.
that stuff kind of entertaining, especially if I got to drive to the city and I'm tired of my same old stuff.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's a gut instinct right away. It's like that my intuition is strong, my energy walls go up, and I'm like, no, just no.
Yeah.
And I honor that. I trust that. I'm like, not today.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry. Side note. That just creeped me out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just don't know what to
And
make of it.
I believe like there is something out like we're not the only people in this universe or only things in this universe. So there is probably something somewhere doing something.
Well, there's so
But
many different energies you can connect to. Like there
yeah,
really
so
are. Like, some people connect to that fairy energy, some people connect to that dragon energy. And I mean, those energies started from somewhere. Those energies have come from somewhere.
yeah.
Like they've been built upon and built upon. And I'm not going to like say yay or nay on anybody's parade. Just like I'm sure he is connecting to an alien energy of some sort or what it claims to be through him. But for me, I'm just like, these ones feel very soft and gentle to me, or you know what I mean? But that one
Yeah.
was a hard no. And so I just, for whatever it is, you just trust it.
Ugh, my heart just
Ugh.
jolted. Yeah,
Yeah.
my heart just jolted for a second. Gross. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, we've covered all of our topics. And again, you guys, if you have ever questions about a topic or about something we covered and maybe you need more clarification or something, just put it in the comments and Crystal will always like bring up those topics in the next podcast when we can. Or, we'll comment back either or. But yeah, next just please let us know if you have any questions. And like honestly, again, please share with other women who need to hear these topics or who feel, maybe struggling with manifesting as well and building that community together. So other than that, I think that's it, eh, Crystal? We're
Yeah. I
kind of
hope you guys have a
wrapping up.
wonderful, wonderful week.
Yeah, you guys take care.
Bye bye.